Hey everybody, welcome back to the Water Damage Restoration Show. Today we're going to talk about air movers and how we use them to dry wet surfaces and to prevent mold from growing in your house after a water leak. Air movers are just fans. We call them air movers because that's how we use them when we're drying something like a house. We use dehumidifiers to create dry air, and then we use the air movers to move that dry air along the wet surfaces. A thin layer of moisture will develop along those wet surfaces. If there's no air movement, that will slow the drying process and mold can begin to grow in that area. We use fans to move that moist thin layer of moisture and replace it with the dry air. Essentially, that's how we dry things out. We do also remove some items, but as far as the drying goes, that's really all we do. We replace the moist thin layer of air and replace it with the drier air. That's what we do. It's a science, but it's not rocket science. Obviously, the number of air movers that are needed on each job will vary from job to job, depending on the size of the job and the number of wet areas that need to be dried. Each separate area will need at least one air mover, and all wet surfaces need dry air moving across them. There are other types of air movers to dry things like cabinets and crawl spaces. A lot of times there won't be enough electrical outlets to get all the fans that you need on a job. When that happens, some areas will have to wait. So you start drying. As those areas start becoming dry, you move the fans to areas that need it more. Not having enough electrical outlets is a common problem. And it's a problem when it comes to trying to estimate how long it's going to take to dry some jobs. When we dry the bottom of a wall, put the fan at a 45-degree angle facing the wall. We check the moisture readings each day and we move the fans as necessary. Once the walls are dry and we're just trying to dry the concrete, we'll usually create a wind turbine by moving the fans in the center of the room, and we'll just put them in opposite directions like this right here. Wind will be blowing this way and it'll be blowing this way, and we'll put it in the center of the wall and it'll create a wind turbine in the room, and then that'll dry the whole room out and dry the concrete out. If the water ran down the wall from the ceiling, it's going to require a lot more time and energy to dry that wall out. Now, these fans can be tilted at a 45-degree angle to dry up the wall, like so. Or if you have a wet spot on the ceiling, you can just tilt them up at a 45 or 90-degree angle, just like that. Air movers start preventing mold growth as soon as you turn them on. The three conditions that promote mold growth is the absence of light, no air movement, and high humidity. So moving the air is key to preventing mold growth. That about covers it for air movers. We're going to wrap it up right here for today. But we will talk more about air movers and how we use them in various situations in future videos. Thanks again for watching the show, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That will help us keep putting these videos out, help people save time and money, and have healthier air to breathe in their homes and businesses.